Hello everybody, it's Julia here with another video for you. Today I'm going to do something a little bit different, something I'm quite excited to bring to you, and a little bit nervous actually. I hope it goes well. Today we're going to be doing a reading for the collective of highly sensitive people around the world, and I identify as highly sensitive. So if this is an energy that you resonate with, or something that you're aware of within yourself, or even somebody within your life, or something you'd like to know a little bit more about, something you're curious about, then I hope this video today might have something for you. This little first bit here is an introduction, really. I'm going to put a timestamp in the video for when the reading actually starts, because I'm going to talk a little bit about what it is to be highly sensitive to start off with. I'm sure if you are highly sensitive, you know exactly what I mean, you know exactly what I'm talking about, but just in case you're not entirely sure, or you're just curious, or you'd like to know a little bit more, I got my Highly Sensitive Person book down out of the bookshelf. This is a book by Elaine Aron. I have had this book for, I think 20 years. Let's have a look at the copyright for this book. So yeah, this was first published in 1999, and I think I bought this book around the year 2000. I've been very aware of my own sensitivities for a long time. I'm 53 now, and I probably started to recognise these things in myself properly in my 20s. Before then, I think many of the personality traits I displayed and behaviours I displayed, I was confused about, and I think probably the people in my life were confused about as well, unfortunately. So I guess I didn't get the best sort of supportive environment that I needed to flourish really with these particular personality traits, and it's been something that I've had to learn about and spend a lot of time reflecting upon and accepting about myself, really. This book, if you haven't seen it and you don't know about it, I would highly recommend that you buy. It's a fantastic book. She's also done a book called The Highly Sensitive Person in Love, I think, which is another really good read. I cried when I first read this book 20 years ago. I remember actually sobbing, because I think this was the first time that I had actually read somebody else's words about what it's like to be highly sensitive, and the challenges that brings you to be sensitive in an insensitive world. You know, much of our world is quite toxic, really, and if you're very sensitive, that can be a very difficult thing to survive, or certainly to flourish in anyway. So yeah, this was a big thing for me when I first read this book, and it really set me on a path of acceptance and learning about myself and learning how to manage my life. And that's really been an ongoing process. As I said, I'm 53 now. I'm going to be 54 in a few months' time, and I still struggle at times with feeling that I don't fit in, that I'm weird, that I'm tricky, that I'm difficult. I annoy myself. I'm worried I annoy other people. So yeah, this is a lifelong issue for me, really. I just want to read a little bit from this book, just because I think I actually highlighted this area in the book when I first read it, as you can see in pencil. But it obviously meant a great deal to me at the time. So highly sensitive people do take in a lot, all the subtleties that other people miss. But what seems ordinary to others, like loud music or crowds, can be highly stimulating and thus stressful for highly sensitive people. Most people ignore sirens, glaring lights, strange odours, clutter and chaos, and HSPs are disturbed by them. Most people's feet may be tired at the end of the day in a mall or a museum, but they're ready for more when you suggest an evening party. But HSPs will need solitude after such a day. They feel jangled and over-aroused. Most people walk into a room and perhaps notice the furniture, the people, and that's about it. But HSPs can be instantly aware, whether they wish to be or not, of the mood, the friendships, the freshness or staleness of the air, and even the personality of the one who arranged the flowers. So if you are an HSP, however, it's hard to grasp that you have some remarkable ability. How do you compare inner experiences? Not easily. Mostly you notice that you seem unable to tolerate as much as other people do. You forget that you belong to a group that has often demonstrated great creativity, insight, passion and caring, all things highly valued by society. But we are a package deal, however. Our trait of sensitivity means we will also be cautious, inward, needing extra time alone. And because people without the trait, which is the majority of people, do not understand that, they see us as timid, shy, weak, or the greatest sin of all, and I know this, I feel this, that of being unsociable. Fearing these labels, we try to be like others, but that leads us to becoming over-aroused and distressed, and then that gets us labelled as neurotic or crazy, first by others and then by ourselves. So sooner or later, everyone encounters stressful life experiences, but HSPs react much more to stimulation. So if you see this reaction as part of some basic flaw, you intensify the stress already present in any life crisis, and then next will come feelings of hopelessness and worthlessness. I wanted to read that out because, as I said, this book made me cry when I first read it 20 years ago, because that had been my experience of life all of the time, really, is feeling that I was different, that I was unsociable, that people didn't like me, people thought I was weird. And this narrative, this sort of internal monologue, if you like, became my reality over time. And it's taken a long time to accept and be happy with myself and who I am. I think I read somewhere in Elaine's book that she thinks 15 to 20% of people could be classed as highly sensitive. It may be slightly more, it may be slightly less, depending on where you live in the world. But obviously that does place you in the minority of people, of being sensitive in an insensitive world. And that is a very difficult thing. Elaine has a test in this book. I'm not sure how many questions there are here. I'm going to read them out to you because if you've not seen this book and you're not aware of this subject particularly, or you are curious, this might help you to sort of understand what I'm talking about a little bit more. I did this test when I first bought this book, as you can see, my markings there in pencil again, and I scored true for every single question here, And Elaine has said if you answered true to 12 or more of the questions, you're probably highly sensitive. And I answered true to all of them at the time, and I still do. So, I seem to be aware of subtleties in my environment. True or false? Other people's moods affect me. I tend to be very sensitive to pain. I find myself needing to withdraw during busy days into bed or into a darkened room or any place where I have privacy and relief from stimulation. I am particularly sensitive to the effects of caffeine. I am easily overwhelmed by things like bright lights, strong smells, coarse fabrics, or sirens close by. I have a rich and complex inner life. I am made uncomfortable by loud noises. I am deeply moved by the arts or music. I am conscientious. I startle easily. I get rattled when I have a lot to do in a short amount of time. When people are uncomfortable in a physical environment, I tend to know what needs to be done to make it more comfortable, like changing the lighting or the seating. I am annoyed when people try to get me to do too many things at once. I try hard to avoid making mistakes or forgetting things. I make it a point to avoid violent movies and TV shows. I can become unpleasantly aroused when a lot is going on around me. Being very hungry creates a strong reaction in me, disrupting my concentration or mood. Changes in my life shake me up. I notice and enjoy delicate or fine scents, tastes, sounds, and works of art. I make it a high priority to arrange my life to avoid upsetting or overwhelming situations. When I must compete or be observed while performing a task, I become so nervous or shaky that I do much worse than I would do otherwise. When I was a child, my parents or teachers seemed to see me as sensitive or shy. And as I said, I answered yes, true to all of those questions, and I still could now. Those things resonate in me as strongly today as they did when I was a child. I do very much believe that my nervous system is wired up differently to other people's, and I came to see really more affectionately over time than I did when I was younger, but I came to see this being highly sensitive as something like the princess and the pea syndrome, in that I will notice anything and everything before other people do. So the princess and the pea syndrome, you know, I could sleep on 20 mattresses and I would still feel the pea. So while these qualities and these personality traits can be beautiful things, actually, they still, even now, feeling more mature, more accepting of myself, these things can be tricky and they can be difficult. And it's very, very important, I think, to surround yourself as a highly sensitive person with tolerant, kind, and accepting people. So anyway, I wanted to do a little introduction really, because if you aren't entirely sure what a highly sensitive person is or how they may think and feel, I hope that you are now. I hope that this has resonated for you as people. So I'm going to start the tarot reading in a minute. I also just wanted to say in this little introduction here that I've just started a new channel. I think it's only about 3 weeks old. I've got one video on there currently. It's my introduction video, and it's talking about me really and my health problems. As I said, I'm highly sensitive, but I was also diagnosed with fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue many years ago. And just last year, and this is a big admission for me here on my tarot channel, just last year I was diagnosed with autism, or autistic spectrum disorder, ASD, and that was after a few years on the waiting list. It was something that I had wondered about myself for many years, and it links in, I think, quite strongly with being highly sensitive. I don't think that everybody who's highly sensitive is autistic, but there is certainly a big correlation there, I think. So my other channel is called Highly Sensitive Me, and if you look on my channel, on my About Me page, you'll find a link to my channel, or if you just search for Highly Sensitive Me, hopefully you'll find my video. It's just the one video, like I said, at the moment, an introduction to all of the things that I want to talk about really over time, and being highly sensitive will be one of the subjects that I will want to talk about. So I thought doing this reading, this tarot reading today, would be a good introduction to my new channel also for my viewers. So I do hope you'll give that a look and you'll subscribe to my new channel. That would be wonderful. And obviously I would love to hear from any of my viewers. I would love if you would leave me a comment or send me an email. That would be fantastic. So I'm just going to pause the video and I shall see you in a mo with my reading. Thank you. Hello everybody, or hi, hello all you highly sensitive people. Anyway, so as I said, I'm going to do a collective reading here, with particular emphasis on people that might be highly sensitive. That's my intention for this reading, and I've chosen my cards hopefully to reflect that. So I'm going to start off with the Soul's Journey Oracle card, just to give us some bigger picture energy and to set a theme really for this reading for you. I've got a couple of tarot decks here, and then I've got the Power of Surrender Oracle cards. I will draw one of those at the end. They are beautiful cards, and I think that they will fit in really well with the highly sensitive theme, and I hope that they will be some advice for you at the end of this reading. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that little introduction, and as I said, if you felt inclined to give my new YouTube channel, Highly Sensitive Me, a look and subscribe, that would be fantastic. It really is my intention that my new channel is a resource for people with chronic health problems, and I would love to have a dialogue with people over time about such things. So anyway, excuse me, Spirit, please, for the highly sensitive collective of people watching this video, if we could have some advice, please, if we could have some bigger picture energy, a theme. Thank you. I don't know whether it's being highly sensitive, but I can't shuffle. I think I do better at shuffling when the camera's not on, and I think actually that is part of it. Do you remember me saying in the introduction that it's hard to do things if you're feeling watched? And I can just about do this kind of thing really, because even though I know people are watching me, you're not actually sat in front of me watching me. So it is weird, isn't it? I've picked such a good day to do this reading on as well. Being highly sensitive, the village that I live in, there's our annual excuse me, it's our annual garden and garage sale day to day. So lots of people in the village have stalls out, and they open their garages up, and people wander around the village and buy things. And there's people everywhere today. It's normally really quiet and lovely here, but there's people everywhere today, and typically, being highly sensitive, I'm easily distracted by those noises. So I shall do my best. Yeah. I shall do my best to focus on what we're doing and allow my intuition to flow, because that's something that us highly sensitive people have in buckets, isn't it? Is intuition. It's always flashing all around us, sort of trying to pick up signals and messages from our environment. It's just being able to actually tap into that intuition and listen to it and hear it, isn't it? That's the difficult thing. So, Spirit, I think I have shuffled enough. If we could have a card, please, for the highly sensitive collective. Thank you. Okay, so we have empathy. Wow. Well, I would say, actually, being highly sensitive, this is something that we have in buckets as well, isn't it? Is empathy. You know, it would be difficult not to have empathy, wouldn't it, when we're so acutely aware of our surroundings all the time and how people feel. So it says on this card, I'm open to seeing both sides of a situation. So as I said, it would be really hard not to be empathic, being highly sensitive, but sometimes it can be difficult to see both sides of a situation, just because I guess that our own needs can be so strong. Not selfishly, it's about survival often, isn't it? Because I know myself, if certain things are not quite right for me, I can suffer terrible anxiety and terrible kind of sensory overload, and so therefore I often need things to be good for me. That obviously is a cause of distress sometimes, because I would prefer a win-win situation for everybody. I'm always very aware of other people's sides of the story, but it's not always so easy to allow other people to take control of situations, I guess, sometimes, if you know what I mean. So there we go, empathy. Empathy. Hopefully the tarot cards will shine some light on that as we go along. So this is my Book of Shadows tarot deck, volume 2, which are quite a contemporary deck, really. I thought they would fit in really nicely with this reading today. So, Spirit, please, if we could have some messages for the highly sensitive collective today. What do they need to know? Thank you. Oops. So we have the 8 of Wands to start off with. This is Mercury in Sagittarius energy. This is manifesting something, isn't it? This is making something happen. Okay. We have the Fool. I think being highly sensitive, you can often feel like the fool in life, actually. That is an energy that resonates quite strongly with me. So yeah, the fool. This is Uranus energy. This is air energy. So this is something new, isn't it? This is a new beginning of some kind, a new fresh start of some kind. We have the Empress. How beautiful. This is Venus. This is earth energy. So this is nurturing, divine feminine energy. In this picture here, we've got a woman who's obviously a mum. She's enjoying her garden. She probably grows her own fruit and veg. I would imagine she's a good mum, a good homemaker. Yeah. Interesting. We also have the Eight of Pentacles, so that's our second 8, isn't it? The Eight of Pentacles is Virgo. This is the sun in Virgo. This is working hard. This is developing skills, perhaps developing a trade, really committing to something, being conscientious. And do you remember that was a word, that was one of the questions that came up in Elaine's test, wasn't it? Was, are you conscientious? And this is a very conscientious energy. Let's put my heater back on. You'll notice in my videos my heater is on and off constantly. What else do we have? We have the wheel. We have the Wheel of Fortune here. So this is Jupiter energy. This is fire energy. So this is changes, going with the flow, sometimes big karmic changes. Jupiter is a planet of good fortune. I think the Wheel of Fortune often represents good fortune, new opportunities. And we also have the Chariot. So we've got a lot of major arcana on the table here, haven't we? We've got the Chariot, which is Cancer energy. This is water energy. I really like this depiction of the Chariot. This is a very contemporary take on it, isn't it? This is a mum driving her kids out somewhere. They could be going to a party, to the park, wherever really, couldn't they? The cinema. But I think the Chariot often represents getting out into the world and conquering the world. This is about the external struggles that we have, not our inner struggles, but our external struggles. So this is about perhaps trying to fit in with the world and finding our place in the world, which again resonates quite strongly, as this is a reading for highly sensitive people. So at the bottom of the deck, we've got the Three of Pentacles. This is Capricorn energy. This is Mars in Capricorn. So this can often represent a collaboration of people coming together to achieve something, to perfect something, to make something happen. And I often think the cards at the bottom of the deck are what we're not seeing about a situation, or perhaps just the real crux of the matter, something that's at the real heart of the matter. And as that's the Three of Pentacles, which, as I said, is about collaboration, being able to work with other people, it's interesting, isn't it, that we've got the card Empathy here, about being open to seeing both sides of the story. So perhaps there's a message here for you regarding trying to be a little more flexible in life, about not thinking that you can do everything on your own, and that sometimes it's useful to let other people in. It's important to let other people in and to work with other people, to see their own processes, really. There's a lot we can learn from other people, isn't there, when we watch and we observe. But I know, being highly sensitive myself, it can sometimes just feel easier to do things by myself. It's just simpler, isn't it? There's much less likelihood of me becoming overstimulated, or me feeling unsafe or uncomfortable in any way. It's much easier to be conscientious, I think, when you're left to your own devices. I think, I used to be a nurse, and when I worked in a team, when you're waiting for other people to do things, I used to get quite frustrated with that, really. And the more people that are involved in something, the harder it is to control your environment, isn't it? I think that's what I'm seeing here, really, to be honest, that we've got this need to manifest something, to achieve something and make something real. There's a lot of movement here, but it's quite solitary, most of it. I can see that whatever it is that you're trying to achieve at the moment is going really well, actually. I think there's a good chance that whatever it is you're trying to achieve is going to realise itself, is going to come to fruition for you in a very positive way. But I think what I'm seeing here very clearly at this time, before I clarify these cards, is that perhaps there is a need to allow something of the outside world into your own inner life. I know that's a scary prospect, people, but I think that's what I'm seeing here at the moment, to be honest. So I am going to clarify these cards just to see if I can get any further messages here. I'm going to use my Mystical Cats Tarot to clarify. These resonate very strongly with me. They're very emotional cards, actually, and I do like them. So let's see what we get. Can we clarify these cards, Spirit? What other messages can we get here from these cards? Thank you. Okay. So, for the Eight of Wands, we have the Sea Kitten. So this is the Page of Cups. So this is a very youthful energy, isn't it? This is a very youthful and playful and emotional energy. This is somebody learning about their emotional state, and maybe about the emotional state of other people. And we've got that here with the Eight of Wands, haven't we? There's very much a feeling here that you've not really been given a lot of choice about some things in life. I think you're being forced into perhaps opening up a little bit, just because there's so many things going on in your life at the moment, I think. Why is the Fool here? We've got the Sky Queen. So this is the Queen of Swords. I think, as I said, there needs to be a change. There needs to be, there's a big difference in the energies of the Sky Queen and the Fool here. The Queen of Swords is somebody who's probably quite set in her ways, quite detached, quite sure of herself, has some kind of authority in life, and is probably quite happy with her solitude and her isolation, I think, in many ways. I have read about the Queen of Swords that she is sometimes referred to as like the widow of the queens. And so yeah, this is a person who is used to being alone, whereas the Fool is wanting to get out there and experience something of life. So why have we got the Empress here? We've got the Four of Earth, so this is the Four of Pentacles. This is Capricorn again. And we've got that here with the Empress. And I think the Empress, as I said, it's interesting actually, the colours in these cards are quite similar, aren't they? You know, the Empress is all about home and family and health and nurturing. And the Four of Pentacles here is about hanging on to those things, and perhaps a fear of losing those things, a fear of losing some kind of security or stability for yourself. Okay. Where's the Eight of Pentacles here? We've got the Fire Tom. So this is the Knight of Wands, isn't it? So this is somebody dynamic and courageous and full of energy. Somebody not scared at all by all the candles burning all around them. They're kind of on a mission, and they're quite focused on that mission, whatever that is. So whatever it is, I would say that you're putting all of your energy into at the moment, something that you're trying to manifest for yourself. There's certainly a lot of energy being put there. Why is the Wheel here? Wow, we've got the Death card. So this is Scorpio energy, this is water energy. So this again is new energy, isn't it? This is endings and beginnings. This is the start of something new, a new way of life. And we've got that here with the Wheel of Fortune. So perhaps these positive changes, these positive opportunities that are coming your way really are a brand new fresh start, and perhaps even a brand new you. Big changes here, people. And then why is the Chariot here? And we've got the Ten of Cups. This is Pisces energy. This is Mars in Pisces. So this is just real emotional contentment. This is having a lovely family, a lovely home, security, stability, everything that most people would want for themselves, really. So if this is something that you're trying to achieve for yourself at the moment, or something that you're concerned about, I think as it's there with the Chariot, it does involve kind of having to navigate your way around society, having to navigate yourself around other people and other people's lives, which is not easy, is it? It's not easy. And at the bottom of the deck, we've got the Earth Queen. This is the Queen of Pentacles. So this could be Virgo, Capricorn, or Taurus. So again, this is a very home-loving energy. This is somebody who enjoys the comforts of their home. Somebody who's probably a good mother, a good homekeeper, or a good father. It doesn't necessarily have to be that this is a woman. But somebody perhaps with a lot of responsibilities. Yeah. So I think the message that was coming out kind of loud and clear at the beginning of this reading is still there. From clarifying these cards, I'm not really feeling anything different, or the direction heading any differently. I do see this very much as like you've been leading your life in one certain way for a long time, in a way that has felt safe and comfortable for you. And just recently, there's been a lot of changes, there's been a lot of movement, there's been an opening up of your experience. There's been some new beginnings, there's been some endings and some new beginnings. I think your perhaps solitary life where you struggle to rely on other people and perhaps let other people in, has started to change. And I think this empathy, which I was talking about here in this card, which is something that you will have huge amounts of feeling inside, perhaps is something that you're now feeling more comfortable to express and share with other people. That perhaps you're allowing other people into your life to help you get to your goals, really, to the things that you want for yourself in life, whether that be a family, a new job, a hobby, friendships, just feeling more comfortable out in the world, really. Whatever that is, I see that there has been a big shift for you recently. I think you've found it easier to let other people in. And I think you've been addressing some of these kind of negative attitudes that you might have about yourself and about life, that you have to hang on to everything for fear of losing it. I do see that here, actually, that there has been a big fear of change, of movement, of losing the things that you have, the things that help you to feel safe in this world. So yeah, there we go. This is beautiful, actually. This is lovely. There's a real progression in these cards I can see here. Let's just look and see what we've got. So we've got cups, wands, swords, pentacles, wands, pentacles, and cups. So we've got all of the suits of cards here. We've got a broad range of suits here. We've got a page, a queen, a knight. We've got the Fool. We've got the Wheel of Fortune. We've got the Death card. As I said, we've got another queen here. We've got lots and lots, actually, of divine feminine energy here. We've got two queens. We've got the Empress. This is all very receptive energy. And I think perhaps that's what's changing here, is that perhaps you are becoming more receptive to life and to allowing life into your own world. And that can only be a good thing. So I'm going to finish off this reading with a Power of Surrender Oracle card. This little deck doesn't come with a book. It has some words on each of the cards, and for myself, I've been drawing one of these cards every single day since I got them. They are so uplifting and so inspiring. They're wonderful cards, and I think they're brilliant for people who would identify as highly sensitive, actually. So what can we have here, Spirit, please, to finish off this reading? Some good advice to all these lovely, highly sensitive people. Thank you. Oh, well, that one. Oh, there's two there. There we go. Oh, interesting, interesting. Surrender your addictions. Whether you're addicted to substances, food, people, sex, or overworking, take action to begin to heal the addiction and replace it with healthier alternatives. Wow. Well, I wasn't getting any major addictive energies here. We don't have the devil card here. I don't see any major codependency issues here within these cards. But what I do see is a resistance perhaps to change, certainly in the past. Perhaps there could be an overworking kind of habit in these cards. We've got 2 8s here. There's been a lot of change, a lot of movement. We've also got the 3 of Pentacles. So yeah, I don't know how this is resonating for you. To me, currently at the moment, it's not fitting completely with these cards here that I've drawn. But for you, the viewer, it could really mean something. So take action to begin to heal the addiction and replace it with healthier alternatives. And perhaps that addiction just might be of wanting to do everything for yourself, of your independence, of you not letting people in, of you coping with everything by yourself to some degree or another. There's a great deal of work type energy in these cards, and protective, kind of defensive energies here, I guess. So you know, those kind of behaviours can prompt a lot of addictive type behaviours to help us manage, I guess, can't it really? So yeah, I don't know how this card is resonating here for you, but always good advice. We're all human. We're all we all have addictions, don't we, of one kind or another, whether it to be to food, to people, to drugs, to cigarettes, to alcohol, to exercise, to work. You know, these things are common to all of us, aren't they? So it's a good piece of advice, really. But I think more than anything for me, this reading really is saying broaden your horizons a little bit, really, I suppose. You've conquered, you know, your home life. You know, you are the queen of all you survey in your home life. It's time to actually shift that a little bit and move out of your comfort zone just a bit, because, you know, we are highly sensitive people, and it's counterproductive and pointless to push ourselves too hard over certain areas, because it will just lead to overwhelm and overload, and then kind of further reinforces these ideas that we are neurotic or mad or bad or sad or stupid in some way, of which we most definitely are not. We're just trying to make sense of a world that's not really designed for us, I guess. So we have to work almost twice as hard, I think, to even seem to fit into this world a lot of the time. Anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this reading, and I think if this reading resonates for many of you, and it does well, I shall probably come back and do more of these collective, highly sensitive readings, because it certainly resonates for me. It's certainly interesting for me, and I hope that there is an audience out there on YouTube of sort of 15 to 20% of people who might be highly sensitive. I think the world of tarot actually has probably quite a higher percentage of people with these kind of personality traits. I know that, well, everybody that I've ever known that's interested in tarot is highly intuitive, highly empathic, and probably highly sensitive in many ways. So I do hope this is of some benefit to people. As always, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do give me a thumbs up. I would love to hear from any of you in the comments if you have anything to say. And if you feel so inclined, please do look up my new channel, Highly Sensitive Me. I hope to add some more content to that quite soon. I've got a video called Sensory Overload that I'm sort of thinking about and putting together at the moment, so I hope to bring you that soon. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you again soon. Thank you.